The new day is dawning in Watamu, Kenya, for all those who survive from the sea's bounty. 5 species of marine turtles have been at home in this coastline for centuries. Generations of coastal fishermen have supported their families with their hard work and passion.
Kutoka zile time pia ni kazi, kwa sababu kazi pia hakuna, ndio maana tumeamua kuhasa ule baharini. Kwa sababu kitu ndio tumelelewa hapa, tukafunguka macho tukaona bahari iko hapa. Ndio maana tunaishi kuvua samaki, kuangalia refu vile inavyokwenda. Ukiangalia kazi nyingine pia, ukiingia kazi kutafuta nje pia ni balaa kupata kazi.
But with coastal resources stretched to the limit, can turtles and people coexist in the 21st century? Here at Mida Creek, fishermen from the Watamu area wake up early to go ply their trade. They hire canoes and set out hopeful of some good luck. More people work in fishing than any other industry, but the coastline has been overfished for years. And often, the men only catch disappointment, not fish. Desperation can lead them to take chances, and sometimes take the lives of turtles.
Sasa ni kuamua pia waangalie huku, kesho kipata waangalie huku. Sasa tunaenda pia, waweza tukaja kama wiki mbili, tukikosea wiki ndo tunaangalia nje tena. Pia nje tukikosa tunarudi baharini.
Mimi huwa nahisi machungu kwa sababu umekosa, na ukiangalia kwa nyumba huwa kuna watoto wanasubiri chakula. Huna namna tena kutafuta isipokuwa hii kazi ndio ambayo umetegemea. Maana ukitoka huku ni jioni 12. Hakuna kazi ambayo unaweza fanya tena, ni kulala tu, kuamka kesho kurudi kwa kazi.
All traditional thinking and ways of conserving is gone. So people take anything and everything they can find, basically, to survive. And that's why you see a huge decline on inshore marine resources because of this over-extraction, over-harvesting by the people.
What do you expect a fisherman to do? He'll definitely go back into the ocean. And what is quick money to them? Am I going to catch 2 kilos of fish and sell, or am I going to target a turtle and get more money? And so most of them would resort to catching turtles because they know they can get quite a lot of money from that. They have the meat, which they can sell and eat. They have the oil, which they can also sell. And they have the shell. So that is quite something for them compared to catching fish.
A turtle can be worth up to $150 for its meat and its shell, a princely sum for these men. Watamu's Conservation Turtle Watch can't compete with that sum. But ever since they started offering fishermen a small remuneration fee, of course to release the turtles accidentally caught in their nets, poaching is down to 10% of what it once was. The key has been education and some cash, and letting the fishermen know they will respond to every turtle in distress and hopefully release them back into the sea.
It's a remuneration based program that we are doing, the bycatch. The fisherman gets something back, like we give them thank you for his time and effort of waiting for us. And it varies depending on the size of the turtle. So we have categorized into 3 categories. We have the juvenile, which are the small ones, we pay them 300. And we have the sub-adults, we pay them 500. And for the big turtles, like the one that we released this morning, we pay them 1,000 shilling. That much we are paying them is not that much that can convince a fisherman go targeting a turtle. Because out of the money that we're paying them, it will never be enough to fix their gears. And at the same time, go feed their families. So that money we're paying them cannot even motivate a fisherman to target turtles.
Dr. Ali Kaka, once Deputy Director of the Kenya Wildlife Service, had retired and gone fishing to Mombasa after a 42-year career in conservation. In 2018, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife called him back on the job. That's because Dr. Kaka knows the problems faced by Kenya's coastal communities like nobody else.
For the coastal communities, poverty is an important factor. And poverty has led to overutilization of marine resources. Unemployment, because it's prevalent. There's a lot of dependence on the marine resource. People right now, they lack modern equipment, they lack deep sea fishing vessels, so they can't go too far to fish in the deep waters. So everybody concentrates in that area. And the young people, the young men especially, since they don't have anything else to do to survive, they also go to fishing.
Dr. Kaka thinks that poaching is not the biggest threat to wildlife, including here on the coast.
The loss of wildlife is not just from poaching. I think poaching right now is very much under control in this country. We have done tremendously well in controlling poaching. So it's not poaching. But there are other factors, land use, for example. We are losing habitats, we are losing space for wildlife. That also has an impact on populations of wildlife around the country. People also don't regard wildlife really, and when I say people, I don't mean people in Nairobi or Mombasa or Kisumu. I mean people on the ground, people who live with wildlife, people who suffer on a daily basis from interacting with wildlife. These are the people who also have an impact in terms of the wildlife decline. So if you don't feel something doesn't belong to you in any way, why should you care?
But after 2 decades of learning about the value of turtles, more and more people on Watamu's coast want to preserve them.
Turtles are lovely creatures. They're so unique, they're special, but then they're helpless. They're facing so many threats from human beings, unnatural threats, of which they need our help for them to have their population sustainable. Those who feel touched on turtle conservation or on marine conservation in general, put your efforts, your energy, and we can together make turtle conservation work successful.
When we come back, Turtle Watch staff help a batch of baby turtles before they're even born. With coastal fisheries now severely depleted, Turtle Watch is trying to teach people how not to fish by supporting alternative ways of making a living. Sami Safari has been the Turtle Watch point man on putting together the Forest Women's Group and other activities.
Imewasaidia kiasi ya kwamba pia hata mazingira wameweza kuyasaidia kule kwa bahari, kwamba wamepunguza ile idadi ya watu ambao wanaenda kule kuenda kuvua na kungojea samaki, na wao wanaendeleza mradi wao hapa. Kwa hivyo hata unapata yule ambaye pengine angeenda kwa bahari anaweza kwenda pale akose samaki, ama aweze kumshawishi hata mvuvi, hebu nenda uue kasa bwana, nipate chochote, maana mtoto wangu amefukuzwa shule. Mambo kama yale ambayo ingekuwa sasa attempt yule mvuvi kuweza hata kuingia katika hali hizo imepungua.
Wakina Sami tuko pamoja kwa sababu wanatusaidia. Mahali ambapo sisi tumekwama, tukiwaambia wanatutolea njia kwa msaada wao. Sisi tunatunza mazingira kwanza. Halafu pia miti inatusaidia kwa mambo ya kujengea.
Beekeeping is another important initiative that has had great success.
Tunakula kabisa, wao walinda lakini si tunamla. Lakini sasa tulikuwa hatujui faida yake ni, lakini kumbe ana faida nyingi. Faida ya kwamba yeye mule baharini kwanza ukimuona si mshari na mtu, unamuona pale anaogelea waona raha. Baona. Anaogelea waona raha. Hivi sasa ukiwa unamshika pengine na neti, kama unamshika na huo mtego wangu, ukimshika pale ukija naye unapatwa kitu kidogo. Bwana mtukua wanakwenda mweka huko kisha alafu anarudi tena hapa. Kwa hivyo yale maisha yake twayalinda na sisi tunapata unga.
So the groups have done so well, and we are glad that those initiatives were started, or alternative income generating activities were started.
Turtle Watch has organized the community to clean up the turtle's habitat, as well as preserve mangroves, which is also crucial to other marine life.
Hiyo mangrove inasaidia hata kwa afya zetu, maana kama hivi jambo ambalo ni la busara kabisa kuona msitu kama hivi, kwingine hakuna. Hii msitu hii inasaidia kukinga upepo, kukinga baridi. Kama hivi tulivyo hapa, yani hata jua lake hapa ni tofauti na huko. Ingawa huyo kasa si sana kupanda huko juu, sana yeye ana vyakula vyake kule hula yaitwa mitimbi, anakula huko. Pengine tukua chambo cha mvuvi anakula, yeye hata hategemei sana kuja huko. Lakini kuna sehemu ambapo kwamba pia mikoko yake iko karibu, pia huingia mule akatafuta kula.
One of the unseen killers that turtles have to contend with is plastic waste. Whether from local communities careless with their trash, tourists not thinking, or ships at sea dumping garbage, there is plenty out there. Ali Skanda is a boat builder and tour operator in Lamu, a popular tourist town 150 kilometers down the coast from Watamu. Ali Skanda and his team have been on a campaign to make the public aware of the dangers that plastic waste presents to all marine life. His project is named Flip Floppy, after the rubber or plastic footwear that is ubiquitous at the coast.
Microplastic is, even if you are throwing a big piece of plastic, when it's exposed in the sun and been heated or salty in the water, after some time it loses, it's like it's weird. So those small particles which are getting out, those are microparticles, microplastic. And those are easily to be dragged in by any animals who is just, they're used to catch some snails pieces, some stone. So when they get something like that, they just sense is same things they're used to eat. And eventually they suffer and they are getting out of this life.
Boat, or dhow as it is known locally, was constructed from over 10 tons of plastic waste and 30,000 flip-flops. Ali and his team have sailed 500 kilometers from the Tanzanian island of Zanzibar. Along the way, sensitizing residents about the need to keep plastic out of the sea.
Our main agenda is how can we revive back, to save our planet. Because when we are not ready to stop such a thing, it means our beautiful planet is going. We are killing ourselves. We are finishing the nature, and we are part of the nature. Somebody can drink a piece of clay, a stone, and it could be digested in your body. But our body naturally is not meant to recycle plastic. So the moment any human being or animal is sucking a plastic in his body, eventually you are causing a danger. It's a disaster.
Watamu's booming tourism undoubtedly encroaches on the turtle's habitat. But it can also play a positive role. Locals need a pristine environment to attract visitors, who can also take part in the Turtle Watch conservation efforts.
My first week here was very intense. We saw hatchlings, we saw green turtles, hawksbill turtles. We released them, we rescued them. We took care of them in the hospital, in the Turtle Rehabilitation Center. There was so much going on, so it's a big adventure. Then after work, I go kite surfing. Then you see also the turtles in the water, and you see there's a lot of threats to them. So it's very important that we take action to take care of them.
Tunashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa bichi yetu ametuletea hizo aina zote za kasa, kwa sababu kasa kuna aina 5 za kasa. Ukiangalia pale kwenye jiwe alituletea hata alama ya kasa. Kuna jiwe katikati ya bahari, kuna hata alama ya kasa. That means ni mfuo ambao umebarikiwa na Mwenyezi Mungu. Mimi kama kazi yangu niko kwa hapa beach, nikiona kitu kama plastic, polythenes, hiyo huwa ni harmful kwa hawa matatu. So mimi tayari huwa nafanya juhudi na nakota takataka zote, kwa sababu usiku wakitoka kama wanataga mayai yao kwa beach, wakirudi huwa wana njaa na wanaweza kula yale manini. So hiyo huwa inadhuru.
Huyu ni mzee ambaye hata umri wake mnaona, lakini bado anavua, na huwa anavua na chombo, anavua na ndoana. Lakini mara nyingi wanahusika pia na uhifadhi. Si ati ni kasa peke yake, hata usafi wa bahari. Mara nyingi kama pengine ako na shughuli zake za mapumziko, utampata anaokota takataka, alafu anapaili mahali, alafu anaorganize kama kuna watu pengine wataziona ziko na maana, wanabeba wanaenda. Na upande wa kuhifadhi hata kasa huwa anashughulika sana. Maanake ndiye sasa niko hapa naye kwa sababu ndiye ametupatia ujumbe kwetu kuwa kuna kasa ametoka na amekuja kutaga hapa mahali.
At this moment, Turtle Watch is consumed with helping the latest generation of sea turtles get started. That means finding new nests and relocating eggs to prime spots that give the new reptiles the best chance of survival.
This turtle came last night to lay her eggs on the other side of the beach, which was on a beach hotel front. So the beach is so busy, so we decided to move the nest from where it was laid originally to a more or less congested beach. This is where we will be burying the eggs, which is above the high water mark, so we don't expect them to be eroded. So where was laid, it was on a beach hotel front, as well it was below the high water mark. So it was in a threat to be eroded, and because the beach is so busy, could be tampered with by the human traffic.
Another generation of baby turtles is racing to the ocean, trying to defy the overwhelming odds against their survival. But Watamu's turtle heroes are determined that in the foreseeable future, there will be many more generations of turtles to come.